Thank you. I've been asked to ask some tough questions. So each one of these is going to be directed just to one of you, with the others not answering. And Liz, will start off with you for no particular reason. A list of shovel-ready projects was submitted to one or more federal officials under your signature, including a new civic center for $90 million. The question is, where did the list come from? Why was it signed by you instead of the mayor? And doesn't the way this was handled undercut your assertion that you will be an effective advocate for state and federal funding? Take a couple minutes.
The list was signed. I didn't sign it actually, but my name was typed on it because Congresswoman Schakowsky asked for a list, and I called the city manager's office and asked that she be sent a list, and they sent the list to her under my, not signature, but name was typed on the letter because I was the alderman who had requested it. And that's how my name got on the cover letter in response to Jan's request. The items that were listed were the top choices of the alderman for infrastructure money. We were not requesting any money. We were simply requesting, first, that the water department's rehab be an acceptable infrastructure expenditure, and it has been listed as an acceptable infrastructure expenditure in the stimulus package. So we can legitimately apply for that money, and indeed we intend to. The Civic Center was on the list, not for a $90 million new Civic Center, because all it was put a Civic Center on the acceptable infrastructure expenditure list as they created the bill. Why the staff put price tags on things, I do not know, but they did. The lists that they were being sent were before the bill was finally written. It was a request that Evanston's needs be considered in the bill that was written. And Evanston's needs were considered in the bill that was written because the water department, which was the top choice of all of us, because it's an area where we can actually not only turn on the tap and get water, which is critical, but it's an area where the city can make money by selling our water to other communities. So that was our first choice. That was the thing I lobbied for the most. And since it is now on the list of acceptable infrastructure expenditures, I would say it proves I did a pretty good job.
Thank you, Liz. And by these questions, I mean no disrespect, but people are talking, and everybody has the opportunity, I think, and the public interest is served by you having the opportunity to address things out in the open rather than it being a little buzz around town. Barnaby, the question for you is that you've lived here for 12 years, but your resume, while impressive in other respects, doesn't show a lot of participation in municipal planning processes, committees, boards, or much of anything else in Evanston before running for mayor. So the question is, why should anyone vote for someone who until now has demonstrated so little public interest in this town's governance?
Well, as I said at the beginning, I've lived here for 12 years, and I've had a small business here for 12 years. There's 2,400 businesses in Evanston. So I actually believe my life experience touches Evanstonians. If you are someone who runs a business, if you are someone who has gone through a divorce, if you are someone who, having lost your father at an early age, has tried to be the best father you could possibly be for your sons, I really think it comes down, and I've spent the last 4 years from my business in Evanston partnering with other businesses to actually erect wind turbines that serve our energy needs. Yes, I could have been on the Climate Action Committee and probably would have been a good idea. But I chose to spend half my time as a full-time father, and my 18-year-old now is in the Marines and doesn't need my advice, he needs my prayers. My 16-year-old is pretty independent. I can pretty much trust he's doing his homework now. But I've worked on this green technology, and so what I'm offering is I also have a blog. If you want to learn about me, you can learn more about me in a 5-minute Google search. I have a blog for my business. I have a blog for my campaign. I am an easy person to get to know who I am, how I operate, what's important to me. I'm not a stranger to the thousands of people who support me and the many businesses that support me. So I have found as I've gone door to door, people have been very open to my candidacy, and I don't get the question, who are you, where'd you come from? I taught at an inner city school for 3 years out of college. I coached. I worked at the Chicago Reporter, which is a publication that focuses exclusively on issues of race and poverty. My son, when he enlisted in the Marines, insisted that he did it from Evanston. Hopefully he'll be voting absentee in this election. I'm still waiting for that envelope to come in the mail so that I can try and get it to him. But I'm offering myself up to serve because I believe I understand the problems of Evanston and I have the skill set to be your part-time mayor, which incidentally I will work full-time for $12 an hour. So all I can do is give you the guarantee of how hard I'll work, what I'll try and do, and ask for your vote. I guarantee you'll get your money's worth.